Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
You know it's going to be a good Tuesday when you're waiting to come on the air, the Young and Norvelle Show live on Action Sports Jacks, and you got a little Skinner playing in the background. Thank you very much. A little Leonard Skinner, you've heard of that group from Jack's Vegas right here in beautiful North Florida. Hi, everybody. Terry Norvelle coming to you from Hurricane Jointon Creek, our Tuesday home. We are having a big time. Great menu, great items. You know about the wings because the wings are in the name. Over 32 different flavors you can mix and match, but do not sleep on the entire menu. They've got great salads. They've got great burgers, quesadilla, and tacos. Yes, tacos. I've had just about every taco they serve up here at Hurricane Jointon Creek. Taco Tuesday, where you can get these wonderful tacos and all these menu items all week long here at Hurricane Jointon Creek. We want to thank Josh and Callie Perry. The owners and operators. Just had a long conversation with Callie. She was in here kind of keeping an eye on the place, and we really appreciate their support. Hurricane Jointon Creek, our Tuesday home. The Young and Norvelle Show is here every single Tuesday, 4 to 6. Don't forget, trivia every Tuesday when we're done. About an hour after we're done, 7 o'clock, they kick in trivia, and they give away a lot of house cash to the winners. And it ends about 8:30. So they get it in and get it out. They understand it's a weeknight. Come check them out. If you're in the heart of Mandarin, anytime, weekend, weekday, whatever, come by Hurricane Jointon Creek. I'm Terry Norvelle. Glad you're with us here on a Tuesday. We've got a lot to get to. I want to talk about Travis Hunter, of course, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to bring up a topic with Travis Hunter that I don't think I've heard anybody talk about. I think it's another positive for the Jaguars and Travis Hunter. Bring that up. Gator basketball, my God. And I know this is duh. When you win the national title, you should be in a good place. Gator basketball, my goodness. Thomas Houck has announced he's coming back no matter what. I think Alex Condon is coming back. Florida has a commitment from most people consider the best true point guard in the portal, Xavier Lee. The Gators are now in the mix for another big time 6'6" tall guard that might come to Florida. We're going to talk about Florida basketball. They are positioned, I think, even if nobody else comes on the roster, I think Gator basketball is positioned to be damn good next year. Now, it's going to be a crowded street, man. The SEC basketball has SEC basketball, modern. We're talking the last 2 years or so. SEC basketball may have trumped SEC football. I mean, basketball, they play high level of basketball in the SEC. I want to get to that in a moment. We'll dig deep and dive deeper into SEC basketball and Gator basketball. Good news coming out of Gator basketball. We'll talk some Major League Baseball. Coming up around 5 o'clock, we're going to visit with our buddy, Kade Kistner. Kade is obviously the baseball publisher for Sports Illustrated. Kade really knows baseball. Where are the Braves? It looks like the Braves have kind of steadied the ship a little bit. They've got the Rockies, another couple games, and then a massive series coming up this weekend in Atlanta. The Braves will host the Dodgers. The Dodgers roughed up the Braves early. The Braves have figured it out a little bit, so we'll talk a lot of Major League Baseball, particularly in the second hour with Kade Kistner from Sports Illustrated. A lot to get to. There's just a lot going on in Major League Baseball as we're coming up on the quarter pole. We've not even played a quarter of the season. Everybody's around 30 games played, 28, 29, 30. 40 is the quarter pole. And, the Braves opened up 5-13. If they can just kind of get to the quarter pole and exhale a little bit, I think they'll be okay. A lot of baseball talk coming up a little bit later here on the program. Also, our buddy, my buddy, Kade Kistner, who will talk baseball with us. He's the baseball publisher for Sports Illustrated. I'm going to kind of let the cat out of the bag a little bit here. Cade's the guy that told me a day or two ago that he has a lot of NFL scout relationships. He knows a lot of NFL scouts. And with that, I'm going to kind of prod Kade into talking about this whole Shedeur Sanders mess. And it has now turned into a mess. I mean, some people are talking racism. I don't buy that. You may buy that. But I'm curious to hear. Kade Kistner, my buddy from Sports Illustrated, has got several sources. And again, he told me we could talk about this, so I'm not kind of letting the cat out of the bag here. But I look forward to hearing what he's got to say with regard to how did the NFL really evaluate Shedeur Sanders. And there's 2 or 3 camps here that you can be in. You can be in the collusion camp, and I've heard that. I can't believe it, but I've heard that. Man, the NFL, they colluded to say nobody needs to take. Well, why would the NFL collude on any player that might help you, your franchise, your moneymaker, make money? That's number one. Number two, I think Cade's going to give some insight with his contacts with scouts, NFL scouts. I think what a lot of people just will not admit is if you take Deion Sanders out of the equation, let's take Deion, father of Shedeur Sanders. Let's move him out of the equation and say Deion Sanders was never, ever, ever known or considered or heard in the situation. There are a lot of people now coming up and saying, folks, the media got in front of this story. The media made Shedeur Sanders a top 5 pick, a top first round pick, much more than the NFL talent evaluators. I think that I lean toward that area. I think Shedeur, and I know the easy thing to do, if you go to any, I could walk over to the bar over here at Hurricane Georgia Creek and say, hey man, what about the tumble in the draft for Shedeur Sanders? Oh yeah. His dad, nobody wanted to mess with that, blah, blah, blah. I don't buy into all that. I don't think that is the end-all, be-all reason Shedeur Sanders went in the 5th round. I think the media started doing a job that they're not qualified to do. The media said, man, how cool is this? Colorado's going to have 2 of the first 5 picks in the draft. Colorado's going to have Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders taken very early, at least in the 1st round. I think the media got way in front of the story. We'll talk to Kade Kistner, our buddy, my buddy from Sports Illustrated. He's a baseball guy, but he is obviously baseball towns a lot of times are also NFL towns. Kade is very connected. He was telling me he's heard a lot of stuff from his contacts that are scout-type people, and I look forward to hearing that. We'll talk with Kade today around 5 o'clock, the 5 o'clock second hour of the Young and Norvelle show with Kade. We'll talk Braves. Where are the Braves? It looks like they've righted the ship a little bit. Is that the Braves have righted the ship? They've won. Let me find the number. The Braves have won 8 of their last 10 games. They started 5-13. So they've won 8 of their last 10. Have they figured it out, or have they caught a great spot on the schedule? Now, with all those wins, we'll talk to Kade about the Braves haven't made up any ground because the damn New York Mets will not lose a game. The Mets are really, really tough. Also, today on the program, I would like to dive into, I think it was off the Athletic, a site that I go to a lot, and it might have been Dane Brugler. I want to make sure I give credit. But I want to take a look, and I know it's way, 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 way early. What about just the quarterback class next year in the NFL draft? Next year, 2026. And it's not too early to at least talk. Yeah, here's my notes here. It was Dane Brugler. A lot of people really respect him. He writes for, at least I know, The Athletic, maybe other publications. But, and I may stay with this right now, Dane Brugler, looking ahead, 2026 NFL draft, quarterback position. We won't break down the entire draft well ahead of a year. Quarterback position. And there are some head scratchers. There are some I agree with and some head scratchers. According to Dane Brugler, a very respected NFL draft guy from The Athletic is where I saw this. 1, 2, 3, 4. His top 4 quarterbacks. And I'll give you my thoughts, and if you'd like to send me a text, feel free, a chat, your comments, your thoughts. Arch Manning, number 1. I can live with that. I mean, a lot of people say he didn't play much. Well, he has played. He was graded coming out of high school, and he has played in college. He got forced into some action, and he played well. I can live with that. I am fine with Arch Manning way, 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 way early being considered the number 1 quarterback in the 2026 draft. Arch Manning. Number 2 is a guy I have to go, I'm sorry. Lenoris Sellers is number 2, the quarterback for South Carolina. And I need to right now say, Lenoris Sellers, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to be a shortstop trying to pitch in baseball, a power forward trying to play point guard in basketball. Lenoris Sellers, the quarterback at South Carolina, is number 2 on Dane Brugler's way, 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 way early quarterback ranking 2026 draft evaluation. I can live with that. And I can live with being wrong and saying I'm wrong. I thought Lenoir, I remember a year ago talking about South Carolina football and going, oh my God, it's probably going to be a disaster. They don't have this, they don't have that, they don't have a quarterback. They're running some guy named Lenoris Sellers, who's just an athlete. Now, granted, I think Lenoris Sellers has got to pick up his passing game. He's heavy run, he's heavy broken play. But, man, the NFL seems to be looking at him as a hellacious athlete. If he can demonstrate he can throw the ball on a semi-consistent basis, I think Sellers is high next year. I totally was wrong about this guy. Absolutely 400%. Now, Dane Brugler, staying with the Athletic, Dane Brugler, the writer who really knows the NFL, he's got his quarterback list for 2026 team to get started. His next guy, I don't agree with. And if the next guy is the 3rd rated quarterback coming out of college football after this 2025 season, going into the 2026 draft, it's not a very good draft. This guy, before I say his name, I just don't feel like he has any, and I used the word a moment ago, feel for the game. This guy, I don't feel. The really good players have a feel for the game. Drew Aller, Penn State quarterback, is 3rd. I don't think he has any feel for the game. My concern with a guy like Drew Aller, Penn State quarterback, I'm not sure you can coach that in. I think the really good ones have it inside them or they don't. the knack, the feel. I've watched Drew Aller now for 3 years. I just don't agree with Dane Brugler having him as potentially the fourth rated quarterback. I just don't think he's got a real good feel for the game. Now, Dane Brugler, his fourth rated quarterback heading into the 2026 draft. I think this guy is a baller. I think this guy has intangibles. I've watched one of his games last year in person. I watched him battle and grind and battle and get up off the turf, get sacked a million times. I watched LSU quarterback Grant Nussmeier until I was absolutely sold on this guy. I think Grant Nussmeier, now, his father was a quarterback. His father is a big-time football coach. I think Grant Nussmeier has the intangibles. I watched him play against Florida. The Gators absolutely, the pass rush made his night miserable. And you know what Nussmeier did? He got up off the turf. He dusted him off. He dusted the dirt off of him. He went to the sideline, and he waited until LSU got the ball back, and he ran back out, and he kept gunning. I was very, very, very impressed in person with Grant Nussmeier. I thought he was a warrior. Some of those guys, Grant Nussmeier was one of those quarterbacks that watching him in person, the other team, as hard as they tried, and Florida, I think Florida must have sacked him 8 times. It was just, he was under pressure all night that night in Gainesville. But you know what he did? He kept getting up, and he kept going out. And I respect that. A lot of guys, after that 4th or 5th or 6th sack, they shut it down. I think I would probably put Nussmeier right behind Manning going into the season, going into the 2025 season, heading into the 2026 draft. Now, before we go to the break, I want to throw 2 more names and they're local guys. And if this comes to fruition, good and bully for the Florida Gators. Dane Brugler, I'm not going to go over all 32 picks. He did his first round heading into 2026. And what I just went over were his highly rated quarterbacks, Manning, Sellers, Aller, and Nussmeier. Looking at the entire first round, 32 picks, if Dane Brugler is correct, look out for the Florida Gators. Dane Brugler thinks the number 9 player heading into the 2026 NFL draft will be offensive tackle Florida Gators Austin Barber. Dane Brugler thinks the number 22 player heading into the 2026 draft NFL will be defensive end edge rusher Tyreek Sapp at number 22. Holy cow. I have to admit, and I know a buddy of mine knows the Barber family, the Austin Barber family, the Florida offensive lineman. So I talked to him a decent amount. And I do know this. If Austin Barber ends up being a top 10, top 15 pick out of Florida, man, you talk about a guy you can root for. Austin Barber, and I remember this 4 years ago, I think it was, he had to basically call and beg his way into a scholarship at Florida. His lifelong goal was to be a Florida Gator football player. Florida was in a real wacky transition period 4 years ago. Remember, Mullen was out, Mullen was out, and the new coaching staff was in, and recruiting can be a mess. and you can get bypassed, and Napier may not have known him. Austin Barber and his people had to really lobby to go to Florida, to get a scholarship, to go to the University of Florida. If he ends up 4.5 or whatever years later, if he ends up a first-round pick, man, you talk about a tip of the hat. You talk about a way to go family. Wow. So there you have it. Dane Brugler, quarterbacks, way too early. 2026 quarterback class. Right now, Arch Manning, Lenore Sellers, Drew Aller, Penn State, and Grant Nussmeier, LSU. Manning, I agree with. Nussmeier, I could probably shuffle. And I've already been burnt by Lenore Sellers once. He's so raw. I need to see Lenore Sellers polish his quarterback game, polish his passing attack. I just don't think you could. Lenore Sellers, a lot of his plays at South Carolina were shotgun snap, catch, look around, and improvise. I just don't think you can make a living. I need to see Lenore Sellers polish his passing game a little more, but hellacious athlete. All right, let's take a break. One down, a long way to go. We're cruising into the second hour. Coming up at 5 o'clock, we'll visit with Kade Kistner, talk a lot of college, and we'll get some college baseball with Kade, but a lot of Major League Baseball. Kade is dialed in. He is the baseball publisher for Sports Illustrated. A lot of baseball talk coming up at the top of the hour. We'll take a break, come back live from our Tuesday home. You know what? You love it. Hurricane, Jointon Creek.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 143-2579.
Hey, all of a sudden you find yourself in a situation where you are looking to buy a home or maybe sell your existing home or one of your homes, and you just don't know where to go. This is a massive, massive life-changing experience. Selling or buying a home is basically the biggest financial transaction any of us will do. You want to make sure you've got great representation, you've got great guidance, and you can get all that and more by calling my buddy Lee Norvelle at Norvelle Realty. Since 1986 in our area, they know the area. They have relationships with the lenders. The last thing you want to do is buy a home with a terrible financial mortgage. That will haunt you for years. Go with people that know the area. They know the lenders. They can get you where you are needed to be because they understand their business is built on taking care of you, communicating with you, and walking you through the process. That's only part of it. Their business is built on your referrals, you telling your friends, your neighbors, your family members what a great experience you had with Norvelle Realty. I guarantee you, you will have that. They will keep you informed and updated on the entire process, the buy or the sell, and the financing. That is a massive part of this equation. Buying or selling a home, financing has to work. They've done it. They've done it a long time, since 1986. Contact my buddy Lee Norvelle and his entire staff at Norvelle Realty, 904-388-4400, 904-388-4400. That'll get you right into the front office of Norvelle Realty. Terry Norvelle here, hanging out on a Tuesday. We're live at Hurricane Jointon Creek in the heart of Mandarin. Look at this menu. Can I get it here? Here we go. Here we go. Look at this menu. You are kidding me. I try to tell everybody. Some people listen. Some people don't. Certainly, you know this place, Hurricane Jointon Creek, is known for wings. Wings, the name is in the business name, wings. They've got a massive, massive selection, 30-plus flavors of wings, classic buffalo, barbecue, Asian-inspired, sweet side, spicy rubs, on and on and on. You know about that. Do not sleep on the rest of the menu. I am case positive. They've got a massive menu, tacos and quesadillas, sandwiches, steak Philly, buttermilk crispy chicken sandwich, on and on and on. Because some people in your party, if you come over here with a group, there's a huge group in front. Everybody may not want wings. They can take care of you. Beach bowls on a bed of rice. They've got all kinds of great menu items for everybody, whatever you're in the mood for. Oh, did I mention burgers? Mac Daddy Burger, Hangover Burger, Bacon Guacamole. God almighty, that sounds good. Bacon Guacamole Burger, Mushroom Swiss, on and on and on. Very, very expansive, very diverse menu here at Hurricane Jointon Creek in the heart of Mandarin. This is our Tuesday location, 4 to 6, and then they have trivia afterward. Okay, let's reset where we've gone, where we are going. Major League Baseball talk, a bunch of baseball talk coming up at 5 o'clock with our buddy Kade Kistner. We'll get to that as we approach the top of the hour. Miscellaneous sports news and notes. I thought it was interesting, and you understand that they have to do it because the college football, college sports landscape is changing, ever changing. But did you see where the Pac-2, and I'll call it that, the Pac-2, which encompasses Oregon State and Washington State, that's all that's left of the Pac-12 right now. Now, they are bringing over some pretty good programs from the Mountain West starting next year. Not this year, but next year. But the Pac-2, and I respect them for doing this. They have to be proactive. The Pac-2 has caught or signed a TV deal, one part CBS, one part ESPN, and one part CW. And before you chuckle at CW, okay, I understand the Pac-2, which now is about, they've got one more year of only 2 teams, and then they're going to expand. Now, will their expansion, it'll be Boise State and Utah State and schools like that. Will that really move the needle? No. But what their expansion will do when you are Oregon State and Washington State and Boise State, okay, right out of the gate, that's not terrible. What that'll do, though, is they will give the advertiser a massive West Coast feel. Keep in mind, every business that advertises, that buys advertising, every business is not coast to coast. So if you're the Pac-2, you've got to make moves like this. You can't just throw your hands and say, hey, I know that college football, the landscape, is greatly going to change in 3 to 4 years. The reason I say 3 to 4 years is the contracts are coming up. There's a reason that FSU and Clemson are basically teetering on membership, non-membership with the ACC. We know that we're now actually 4 years away, and the announcement will come out earlier than 4 years. FSU and Clemson are not going to be in the ACC. It's pretty apparent. The ACC may not be an entity as the ACC. All that is a way of saying you understand why the Pac-2/Pac-10 soon, which includes right now Oregon State and Washington State, you understand why they're still in their swing. You can't just say, here we are, when y'all are done, scoop us from the asphalt on the road and throw us where you want. They're trying. Good for the Pac-2 cutting a deal with CBS, ESPN, CW. And one thing that helps the Oregon States of the world and the Oregons of the world, if it times out well, perfect scenario would be Washington State. They play Washington every year. Hopefully this coming season, that's a Washington State home game. Oregon State plays Oregon every year. Hopefully for Oregon State, that's a home game. And then, you throw up a decent game or two. If it's a home game, it's going to be broadcast on your network of choice. So keep in mind the Pac-2, they've cut a deal with the Mountain West. It's not the best deal, but they're trying to keep their nose above water just to see what happens in 5 years, in 4 years, whatever that date comes. You got to be in the game at least. And I like what they're doing. They're not just passively saying, hey, 5 years from now, when college football really goes through another big bang, which I've been calling it, they'll go through another big bang. There'll be expansion. I would rather at least be throwing fastballs the last 5 years than just sitting there and saying, do with us as you want. So interesting. I thought that was kind of interesting. Good for the Pac-2, which is going to expand. We will see. Spring football. We probably won't get in deep into this, but obviously we're in a period where the UFL is playing what? Is this year 2, I guess? They've merged year 2. The UFL is not going to work. The UFL is currently and going to ultimately lose a boatload of money. The UFL is going to go down as spring football league / idea number 16 that won't work. It's destined to just flame out. I think most lucid people that don't have a stake in the UFL understand that and agree with that. With that said, how can spring football ever make it? Football in the spring that really grabs the masses. Can it ever make it? There have been 8 billion entities that have tried and just, you know me, burn the money. Just light the money on fire and burn it. It'll speed things up. I say that right now with Dwayne Johnson and his group running UFL. Buddy, when you announced this year and a half ago, I said, Dwayne, I'll send you a lighter. Just burn your money. You'll be out the money, but at least you'll save the time. Well, that's going to happen again. This thing is waffling and not going to make it. Got me thinking, well, Terry, splitting the atom is difficult, but that should be harder than finding a spring football that would catch the country's attention. Is there something that would, well, as I put some thought into it, I came up with 2 things. In my opinion, there are only 2 things that ever could succeed, and I mean succeed, be self-sustaining, be wanted, be needed, be looked forward to with regard to spring football. Number 1, and so far, the smartest people in the room have never given any inclination that they think there is money to be made and that they think there is a need for spring football. The number 1 entity and the only entity that would be a guarantee to work in spring football would be the NFL. Would be, and I'm not saying move the NFL season. No. An NFL-backed entity in the spring. That's first and foremost. The only entity that would work and become a player and become a part of the season, I'll look forward to, follow, watch, would be some type of NFL-backed spring football. That's number 1, and that's almost the only entity that would work. Not Dwayne Johnson, not this and not that. Please quit burning your money. The only other entity that would work and succeed as a spring football successful entity. We're talking the season played March, April, May, right? January camp, March, February, March, April, May, right in that area. The only other, either the NFL or, and I understand this would, what I'm going to suggest would be a seismic shift. But I think what I'm going to suggest would work for everybody. The NFL, the TV folks, and the entity I'm about to throw out. The only and second entity that could work with real football, popular real football in the spring would be college football moving their regular season to the spring. We'll take a pregnant pause here and let you digest what I said. College football moving their regular season to the spring. Are you crazy? I told you it was seismic. Think about everything that would happen if the college football calendar moved to the spring. Number one, not that they need it, but the NFL would love it. Freeing up that part of the calendar. Not being the bully, taking Thursday. Not being the bully, taking Saturday. Imagine the NFL saying, wait a minute, the entire fall, we could split. We could not only own Sunday, we could own Saturday. The NFL would love it. College football would benefit greatly. Think about that. College football would never have to feel like, you know what, as big as we are, the number 2 sporting event, basically the number 2 sport in our country, we don't have to, well, what's the NFL doing? Can we play this? Can we play at 3 o'clock on Saturday, January? What's the NFL doing? Well, we just lost our Thursday night time. What's the NFL doing? Hey, can we play Friday night? What's the NFL? I think it would be a massive home run if the college football season moved into the spring. Just change the calendar. I know that sounds radical, but what's the negative? That's one of only 2 things. I think the NFL would support the hell out of college football moving. Not that college football is anywhere near the 800-pound gorilla in the room that the NFL is, but why not? Even a small speed bump, if you're the NFL, take the speed bump out. I think the NFL would say, that's a great. Now, you run into some situations where what happens with your draft class? The guys are getting drafted. They would have just finished. They would have no recoup time. And I get that. I think that would end up working itself out, though. You could actually move the start of the NFL season a little further away from Labor Day. You know, the NFL now, college football starts Labor Day weekend, and maybe a little schedule the week before. And the NFL has often now said, we want to start after Labor Day. The NFL starts their season after Labor Day. One of the big reasons they want the country back in a routine. They want school to have started. They want vacation to have ended. They want things to be boom, boom, boom. It's fall. The weather's changing. And guess what? On Sundays, the damn NFL plays. The NFL, in this crazy scenario, they could move their start to the second week of September, and they would be free. They don't have to have the NFL. The NFL runs into a little bit of an issue when they start grabbing Thursday night games and now Friday night games and Christmas Day games and Saturday games after the regular season's over in college. They run into a little bit. The NFL doesn't want to look like, they never want to look like the ogre, but they grab their territory. If college football is moved to the spring, the NFL runs rampant. They don't have to look like the bad guy. They don't have to look like the big ogre, the big bully. I don't know. Just a thought, but that's my 2 thoughts on the only 2 entities I think that can truly, truly, truly ever win spring football in our country. The NFL would have to get behind it. I don't know what that would be. But if the NFL said, here's a developmental league, here's our practice squad season, I think that would go off the chains. They're the NFL. And secondarily, if college football moved their calendar. I think college football, if they moved their calendar, it would be incredible. No battles, no travel issue. Imagine how many more people would go to the college games. There's a lot of people that love both, but if they want to get on a plane and go see Green Bay play at Pittsburgh on Sunday, they're probably not going to Wisconsin hosting Michigan on Saturday. Imagine getting those two separated. Imagine the windfall. Do you think the TV boys would love that? Oh my goodness. Football, big time American football, passionate American football, not just August, September, October, August through February. How about February through June? It would be crazy. The only two entities that I think it could work. All right, just making you think a little bit out there. Sometimes you got to make people think. Blame it on my education from a private institution of higher learning. I like to call the Harvard of South Jacksonville University. All right, let's take a break. We're closing in on 5 o'clock. We'll talk a lot of baseball in hour number 2. Our buddy Kade Kistner from Sports Illustrated will join us. A lot of Braves talk, Dodgers talk, Major League Baseball talk in general. And Kade is dialed in with a bunch of NFL scouts. He's got some real heavy thoughts on, did anything really happen with Shedeur Sanders, or was he just overrated by the media? We'll talk about that as we cruise into hour number 2 on the Young and Norvelle Show.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
There you have it, an overhead shot of downtown Jacksonville. Glad you're with us on a Tuesday. Terry Norvelle here on Action Sports Jacks. We do it Monday through Friday. Hope you've been with us a long time, but if you're new, we do it 4 to 6 every weekday right here on the platform that you are taking us in. We hope to talk a lot of baseball starting in hour number 2. Kade Kistner, my buddy from Sports Illustrated. He's a baseball publisher. Kade, very, very versed in baseball. I got a lot of stuff to throw his way. He's also dialed in with a lot of NFL scouts. Can't wait to hear Kate's thoughts on this whole Shedeur Sanders. Was it a concentrated effort to not draft him? I don't believe that. Was it a skill situation? That's more what I think. We'll get Kate's thoughts as he knows a lot of Major League Baseball scouts, and he'll share that with us. I want to go back. I teased a little bit and didn't get into it. Travis Hunter, Jaguars bombshell first-round pick, the big trade. Jaguars going against what they've done probably in 30 years and really, really lobbing a grenade out there. It may hit, it may not, but at least they tried. I'm going to throw this out. I hadn't heard anybody talk about it, but I think I've got this figured out correctly. Help me if I'm wrong or if I'm right. Help me a little bit here. Another benefit, let me say it again. Another benefit, I think, by bringing Travis Hunter, who is a unicorn. He's a very unique player. The NFL has not been wrought with two-position, both sides of the ball players over the history. Very few have done that. You know, the Deion Sanders, the Chris Gamble's, the Charles Woodsons. There haven't been many. Travis Hunter looks like the most polished, accomplished two-way player to come into the league. And I don't think I'm missing somebody. I think he would be considered the most polished. Deion, a return guy at FSU, but a cornerback. Charles Woodson, a cornerback at Michigan that played a few plays here on offense, okay, but a cornerback. Chris Gamble at Ohio State, kind of the same way. A bit of the guys I named were more a bit of novelties. They were athletic enough to do it on a limited. Travis Hunter is a total different animal. His body of work so far has shown that he can be a real asset and take up a lot of snaps and help your team on the offensive side and take up a lot of snaps and help your team on the defensive side. Where's the magic number on any given Sunday? I don't know. Nobody knows. Travis Hunter, I don't think, knows yet. But with that as the backdrop, and I think I'm right here, another benefit of Travis Hunter coming to the Jaguars is, doesn't that kind of free up another roster spot? And I think it does. I'm trying to think it through. And I haven't dove into the NFL roster numbers, but I think they're still pretty much You have a 53-man active roster on game day, a 53-man roster. 45 are active, and I think there's a little swing with the third quarterback. You can have 46 if the third quarterback, and blah, blah, blah. If he goes in, the first guy can't go back, blah, blah, blah. But for the most part, game day, the NFL has 45-ish players at their disposal. Well, and I don't have the breakdown, but there's a pretty standard breakdown, and teams deviate a little bit. But of those 45, there's a pretty good solid breakdown. Okay, most NFL teams on game day Saturday, they're active 45. And we'll just go position group by position group, but I'll just make the point. Most teams activate game day 8 offensive linemen, with 2 of them being swing guys. Can play guard, can play tackle, can play center in a pinch. So 8 guys can hold down the 5. Wide receiver 4. Tight end 2. Running back 2. Defensive line 5. Cornerback maybe 6, maybe 5. I think you see where I'm going. By adding Travis Hunter, who is a quasi wide receiver cornerback, and I get he may not be 100% on either way, but I don't think that's what you made the move for. If you were a standard Jacksonville Jaguar roster and you said, okay, on game day, we need to activate 6 cornerbacks. But do you really need to activate 5.5? Because Hunter could play what? And if you gotta, if the standard number in the NFL says you activate 5 wide receivers, do you really have to activate 4.5? Because Hunter, you see where I'm going? So doesn't that, in a weird way, doesn't that free up one more roster spot? And you know me, I've screamed big ugly, big ugly, big ugly, offensive line. Doesn't that, would the math work out where instead of, you could maybe carry 8 offensive linemen or 9 offensive linemen? Doesn't Hunter give you a little extra spot somewhere on the active roster, or signing a guy? I don't know. Maybe I'm all wet there. Maybe I'm all wet. Okay, a couple minutes before the top of the hour. Wanted to get into Gator basketball just in case we can't, as we cruise into some baseball talk, hour number 2. I thought it was very interesting. Todd Golden, in a recent interview on a podcast, he mentioned that, and I think there was an answer in this thing that wasn't an answer. Todd Golden, talking about Thomas Houck, an up-and-coming, I think, superstar at for the Florida Gator basketball team. Thomas Houck coming back, 6'9", forward, can get down, has got post moves, can really rebound, can shoot a 3. Todd Golden said, if Alex Condon comes back to Florida, who's testing the NBA waters, but leaving his options open, if Condon comes back, Golden on a podcast yesterday said Thomas Houck will play a lot of the 3 position. I think that, I've been screaming for that. I think that really makes Florida a problem. If Xavier Lee, who's a 6'4" guard, runs the point, Florida is in a good position for a bunch of 2 guards, including the kid out of USC, Desmond Claude, 6'6", 2 guard. If Houck is your 3 at 6'9", Condon comes back, he's your power forward at 6'11", and then either Chinyalu, who I think is coming back, and or Hanlogden. Chinyalu, 6'11", Hanlogden, 7'1". Florida is then a very talented, long, big basketball team. And don't forget, who was the big, long overpower you basketball team last year. Not the Gators that won it. They were big and strong. Duke, the Duke Blue Devils had the 7'2" center, Cooper Flagg 6'9". They played over a lot of people. They bullied a lot of people. I think Florida will be this coming year's Duke if that roster that I just ran out, if those four bigs come back for Florida, Houck, Condon, Chinyelu, and, of course, Hanlogden, with the backcourt they have, with the three high school kids they have coming in, including ultra-athletic C.J. Ingram, man, I think Florida is poised to be a son of a gun next year. Now, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to win and get deep, and the SEC is a bear, but, man, I love where Gator basketball is positioned. They're coming off a national title. But looking ahead, I think Florida, it may take a little time to, work out the kinks, but that's what November, December is for. I think Florida's going to be positioned to have a hell of a team this coming college basketball season trying to defend their national championship. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll get our buddy Kade Kistner on baseball talk, and Kade's going to, I think, give us a little insight on what he's heard about Shedeur Sanders. That and a whole lot more. Hour number 2 coming up. The Young and Norvelle Action Sports Jacks.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry. We still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
All right, back we are as promised. Time to switch gears a little bit and head toward the some baseball talk. My buddy Kade Kistner from Sports Illustrated, he's a baseball publisher for Sports Illustrated, really knows the game. He's kind enough to join us. Mr. Kistner, first and foremost, my buddies, I got a lot of buddies down here that are Braves fans. I mean, they live and die with the Braves. They were beside themselves. They were upside down the start of the season. But don't look now. The Braves have won 8 of 10 after a 5-13 start. Have the Braves found it, or has it been schedule induced? Where are the Braves right now, Kate?
No, they've looked pretty good. And again, hey, thanks for having me on, Terry. But no, the Braves, I mean, they look good. They, like you said, they've won 8 of the last 10. I think they had a pretty good 4-game sweep not too long ago. They've been winning their last couple of series, and and now you're talking about having a pretty nice schedule coming up. Yeah, you have a series with the Dodgers at home, but then after that, I think you've got a 4-game stint with Washington Nationals. I think the Pittsburgh Pirates are in there, and there's another pretty easy 4-game. It might be Miami or something, right? So they've got, after the Dodgers, they have 11 games where they can really make up some ground. So I think they're in a good position. They're kind of starting to find it. And like we had talked about, a couple weeks ago, teams can start hot, they can start slow. It's a 162 game season, so kind of finding their rhythm right now.
And the Braves have found it a little bit. Maybe it's schedule induced, maybe not, but they're playing better baseball. The damn Mets just won't lose.
It's funny because the Mets have played, I believe, 20 games this year against opponents under 500.
Okay,
so
there you go.
So that one's a little schedule induced, I think. But we'll see as they kind of start to turn it on in their schedule a little bit.
And that's the beauty of baseball. I mean, the beauty of baseball is there's going to be peaks and valleys. There's 162 freaking games over 6 months or whatever it is. Yeah. You can only fake it so long, right? You can only fake it to make it so long. That's the beauty of baseball. Hey, I don't want to pick on Colorado, but obviously the Braves, they've got game 2 with Colorado today. Is it too early to say, like Atlanta, I think will play Colorado in 2 series. They'll play them at home and on the road. They're not in the division, but they're in the league, right? So they'll play them twice. Is it too early to say, man, you better go sweep Colorado? You can't give away a game to the Rockies. Is it way too early to say that?
No, I mean, you got to take every game possible. And the way the Rockies are playing right now, I don't even know if they're a Major League Baseball team. I mean,
it's brutal.
Reminding me of the White Sox from last year. I think they've won 4 games this year or something.
Yeah, they're 4-24. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's brutal. And yeah, that's the type of team that you gotta go take advantage of because you're not, like you said, you're not in their division, and the fact that you get them twice this year when a lot of other teams are only getting them one time. So you gotta go take advantage of those games when you can and put those in the win column.
God, I don't want to pick on these guys, but my goodness, I've started looking ahead and asking Siri and asking Chat GPT. I said, what's the worst modern baseball record? And it comes to last year. How about
last year?
Yeah, last year the White Sox 41-121, and right now the damn Rockies, they're tracking that, man.
Oh yeah.
They're 4-24 for God's sakes, Kate.
Well, you also have to look too at their division. I mean, I'm all the way up
Brutal.
and down. I mean,
Brutal.
it's brutal. Dodgers, Giants, Padres are playing well. Even the Diamondbacks are above 500 and playing well. So, it's just a brutal division to be in. We have to face each of those teams, quite a few times this year. So it's just a tough division. They're not a very good team. So, again, you put the Rockies maybe in the AL or the NL Central, and you might have
Maybe.
a little
Yeah.
bit have a little bit different of a discussion. You're probably not talking about the worst record in baseball history at this point, but you're still not a very good team, right? But it's just kind of the Swiss cheese model for them. All the holes are just kind of lining up to have a disastrously embarrassing season.
And just in case you're of the type of person that wants to know, yes, Colorado does play Chicago, the White Sox. I think it's the 4th of July weekend, so I don't know where the game's at. They play obviously in different leagues, so they'll play one time, and you got
Marquee matchup, man.
You got to promote that though, don't you? A little bit, man. You got the White Sox rolling in with the Rockies, and I'll tell you one thing: I'll be watching to see what happens with those two guys, right?
Yeah, who wants to lose more, right? So
unbelievable. I just reading a little bit on the Rockies because they're playing the Braves right now. They've had a period, Cade, this year where they went 32 scoreless innings in Major League Baseball.
That's hard to do.
I mean, don't you run into something, don't you? You run into a fastball and hit it out.
You think you would? Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know that stat. That's pretty incredible, actually.
Oh my!
So that's
my!
Almost 4 games, 4 straight games, almost.
Isn't that terrible? Is the National League as top heavy as it looks, or will it play out? I mean, the National League looks just brutal. If the Mets are the Mets, we know the Phillies are a hardened team. The damn NL West is just brutal, minus the Rockies. The Cubs is the NL as strong as it looks right now, or is it just early?
It is. It's a very good. It's a very good league, and talking about the Cubs, they're looking really good. They might have, I think they might be a couple games back of the Dodgers and the Giants. But if you look again at how many teams under 500 they've played this year, they're the only team with 0. They've never played a team, and they're performing the way they are, right? So I think the Cubs are looking pretty legitimate. And yeah, that NL East is tough. NL West is a behemoth, and yeah, the Cubs and the looking really good too. So it's gonna be a dogfight come October over there for the NLCS for sure.
Hey, looking at the American League and going back a few weeks on the story of the baseball season to kick it off. The torpedo bats, and that was more of an AL thing, but is that over? Or the torpedo bats over? I hadn't heard much about it lately.
Yeah, I think it was just kind of a new thing. I mean, guys are still using them. They're kind of actually becoming a little bit more common across, a lot of teams now. But I think they were pretty novel. But yeah, now that the novelty is kind of worn off, we're not really hearing a whole lot about it. So, I think it was just kind of the noise that the Yankees were making with them at the beginning.
Yankees have crept up to the top of their division. All of a sudden, don't look now, but Boston. Boston started a little slow, but boy, the Red Sox kind of creeping up. Just an overview of the American League. Obviously, we follow the National League more down here because of the Braves. But overview, not quite at the quarter pole of the American League right now.
Yeah, the American League is it's a little bit weaker this year. You look at the AL East, you do have the Yankees at the top, and then you've got the Red Sox kind of right there. The Orioles are almost 10 games under 500, which is crazy considering their last 2 seasons. And they had an atrocious off season. Really didn't make any type of acquisitions. They lost their ace, and so you're kind of seeing the effects of that. And then you head over to the AL Central. The Tigers are looking really, really good. Guardians are pretty decent. The Tigers are a very young team. They've got Tariq Skubal over there, who is just throwing lights out. And so that's a very good team that keeps getting better every year as these guys are getting more experience. And then you've got the AL West, and it's a very it's a very close division right now. You've got the Astros and the Mariners tied at top with the Rangers having lost 3 in a row. They're a game and a half out, but they've been dealing with some injuries. And so it's, the AL is, it's a lot of fun to watch right now. I think it's a little bit more even competition kind of, all the way throughout. But I still, like I was saying earlier, the NL, I think, is just kind of a head over them right now.
Jumping back to the NL, you follow the Phillies closely. They're still going to be a tough out, right? I mean, they're veteran, their pitching staff. They're just tough son of a guns, man. They're baseball players. They're good. They don't. The last couple of years, it's been fun watching them. They don't. Not that any baseball player cowers down, but the Phillies they take the field and think we're going to beat you, man. We're just going to beat you.
Yeah, I haven't seen a team that's really kind of embodied that Philadelphia mentality the way that this Phillies squad has, and their starting lineup all the way up and down is full of veterans now.
Yeah,
full of some legitimate superstars. The rotation, surprisingly, Aaron Nola, who's been one of the most consistent pitchers in baseball over the last 6 or 7 years, is having the worst start to his career. He's got an ERA over 6 right now. And so it's one of those things where if Aaron Nola can kind of figure it out and he can kind of get back to being that top 2, top 3 guy in that rotation, it's going to look really scary. And then same thing with the bullpen. They're going to have to fix that a little bit, but their big acquisition in Jordan Romero, he hasn't kind of been performing very well. And so again, once they kind of figure all that out, which I think they will, they're a very good team late in the season. The Phillies always kind of start out a little shaky every year, and then, September rolls around, and all of a sudden, they hit it in stride. And last couple of years, they've been close to a World Series against the Astros in 2022.
Right.
2023, they were one win away from facing the Rangers in the World Series. So again, just a very good team that gets hot at the right time. And I think if you ask them or Rob Thompson over there, their manager, I think they'd rather have their struggles early right now than say in the home stretch, right? So
talking to a lot of baseball, and I want to even work some college baseball in a minute with our buddy Kade Kistner from Sports Illustrated. Kade, not to look ahead, but let's look ahead. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the combination of the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, known as the Los Angeles Dodgers, they roll into Atlanta, man. I mean, when the Dodgers are that team right now, right? When they roll into your hometown, the baseball world stops. It should be an absolute madhouse in Atlanta. I know a ton of buddies of mine that are heading up for that series. Boy, the Dodgers roughed up the Braves to help Atlanta start what? 0-7, 0-8, 0-8. Is that the marquee weekend series? It's got to be, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's those games are going to sell out this weekend in Atlanta for sure. That's kind of what the baseball world will be kind of focusing on. It's kind of these two historically pretty heavy hitters, the last few years, and so especially with Atlanta kind of playing some good baseball, they're going to probably feel pretty good coming off of this series with the Rockies. So I think it's going to be pretty good. And the Dodgers, they look beatable this year. I don't think that they're probably a top 3 team right now. They're right there, probably at 4 or 5, but in terms of power rankings, so I think the Braves have an opportunity, especially at home.
And you know what? Obviously, we saw what the Dodgers did in the offseason. We see what the on-paper lineup is, and it looks invincible. But you know what this really shows you? There are a lot more than just 25 really good players in baseball, right? I mean,
yes, right.
You can grab 25 of the best, but there's a boatload of great players in the world that play baseball, right? Doesn't that show that this year?
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, you don't have to have, every single best baseball player on one roster to be a very, very good team. And it's just such a tough game to play. And the best teams, aren't necessarily the ones that have, this stacked lineup or, an incredible rotation. It's the teams that really kind of take care of the margins, and they improve at the margins, right, every year. And that's, with how good players are these days, that's what is going to separate the great teams and the World Series teams from maybe just the guys in the middle of the pack. So it's all about improving at the margins.
Good stuff here with Kade Kistner, my buddy from SI. He's a baseball publisher for Sports Illustrated. You can follow all his work. Man, I was on y'all's site today. Good Lord, your SI site. Whatever sport you want, baseball, obviously. Then I jumped over to college football. Holy cow.
Oh, yeah.
I learned.
Yeah, we've got a lot of great content coming out right now.
Oh, my goodness. I learned. And I promise I'm gonna give SI some credit, but I learned so much today clicking on Florida State, Georgia, Miami, college football today as well. It's man, that's some good stuff. Kade, I've got some more stuff I want to fire your way. A big thought in baseball, and I think it was I want to give credit. I think it was on The Athletic today, or it might have been your site as well. And there was an article. The Dodgers are playing the Marlins right now. They've got a little series going on, and I don't know who to blame, what side to blame. If there's blame, is it Major League Baseball to blame? The Dodgers, the article said they have a $476 million roster right now. They are taking on the Marlins, who have a $69 million roster. And I don't know, should I blame the top, the Dodgers, or should I blame the bottom? I guess what I'm trying to ask is, are the Dodgers to blame or the Marlins? You should be forced to spend more money to blame. I don't know where should I blame that discrepancy, and that's a hellacious discrepancy.
Yeah, it really is, and this is kind of the debate that's been going on. It's a very heated debate in the sport right now, really since the new CBA was signed. And so, where I kind of stand, in my personal opinion on it, is you gotta blame it on the lower teams, right? These teams that are not spending any money on payroll, they're not the owners aren't interested in competing. They're not interested in the World Series or anything like that. And you gotta give it to the teams like the Dodgers, like the Phillies, and even like the Cubs to an extent, the Giants, Padres, right? The Yankees, Mets.
Yeah.
Yep. And they're going out there, and these owners are going, I bought a baseball team because I want to win, and I want to put the best pieces I possibly can on this team. And there's 3 different levels of the luxury tax threshold. It's kind of like a pseudo salary cap, but these teams don't care if they're having to pay 40 cents on the dollar over a certain amount, right? They want to win. And you look at the Dodgers and how much money they made as a franchise from winning the World Series and having Shohei Ohtani on there.
Yeah.
Right. So they see the benefit of it. And that's why, even after the World Series and spending, almost $1 billion last offseason, they went out and made some more moves this winter. So for me, it's kind of a shame when you have teams like the Rockies and like the Marlins and the Athletics and the Rays, right? And even the Orioles now to a certain extent where they're going, we really are just going to try and hope we get a wild card spot, if even that, right? And so very few teams can spend, almost no money and get to the postseason. The Rays are kind of the exception the last, 5, 6, 7 years. But I think it's kind of shameful. And, now, new CBA discussions are going to start popping up here. And, big question is, okay, or is there going to be a hard salary cap, at the top? Is there going to be a salary floor that teams have to meet? I think if that happens and salary cap talks start happening, I don't know that we see baseball for at least a season, maybe even 2.
No.
So
don't say that. Don't say that, Kade. But I'm with you, though. I don't know whether to blame the ceiling, blame the Dodgers, or blame the floor, the Marlins. I mean, and that brings me to a discussion I've had in multiple sports, but it's apropos here. A lot of times in my career as a broadcaster, I've thrown out, you know what? I think contraction would be better for certain sports than expansion. You look at baseball, maybe there's not enough owners that are out there willing to spend enough money. Maybe if we had 20 teams instead of 30 teams, it would be much more competitive. You
Well,
know?
you know, what's crazy is with the TV deals and things like that, every single MLB team, for the most part, is turning a profit year after
How
year,
about that?
and
Yeah,
every single ownership, every single owner is a
yeah,
billionaire. I mean, they
yeah,
have the opportunity to do this, and now, as the Dodgers prove, there's nothing in the CBA and the rules that say you can't sign a guy with deferred money like they did
yeah,
with Otani,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And so everyone has the ability to do this.
yeah.
But your talk about contraction is interesting because right now we have two teams in Major League Baseball playing in minor league baseball stadiums.
Yes, how about that? Wow. The Yankees, and who's the other one?
So actually, it's the Rays playing in the Yankees
Oh, yeah, the
spring
Rays
stadium.
playing in the Yankees. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Athletics are playing in Sacramento.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a mess, and they're talking about, well, maybe we expand to Nashville, maybe we expand to Portland or San Antonio or
Yeah,
something like that.
sure.
And it's like, why don't we take care of
Yeah.
the teams that aren't even playing in Major League Baseball parks right now?
Yeah.
So
And Kate, I know we just came out of March Madness basketball. I've said for years, and I absolutely hate the fact that there's talk now of expanding, adding more games to March Madness. No, no, no. You need to take away games. If you contract March Madness, the tournament would be better than if you expand it. You're just going to add four more unwatchable games and
right,
teams that have no chance. If you contracted March Madness to, I don't know, 48, well, a 16 rarely, if ever, beats a 1. If you contract March Madness, a 14 would beat a 1, and you'd have to watch the game.
right, yep, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, yeah.
yeah. Sometimes I think contraction, but they're going to expand it. They are definitely going to expand. A couple more topics with Kade Kistner, our buddy from Sports Illustrated, talking baseball. We teased a little bit. I know it's this weekend, but Dodgers Braves in Atlanta. It's going to be fun, fun, fun. I'm starting to read a little bit, and help me out, Cade, with this. Otani might go to the mound maybe after the All-Star break. Are you starting to hear that? Is he really going to try to get on the mound this year and be a two-way player?
So yeah, that was the talk all winter. I mean, there was thought that he could even have already been pitching, right? And I think if there was maybe a World Series on the line, he could probably be doing it. But
Yeah.
I know the Dodgers are being very, very cautious with him. I know that they probably would prefer that he doesn't pitch again. But the deal when he signed there was, hey, I'm a
Yeah.
two-way player. And so, I think after the All-Star break is kind of what we're hearing. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen. It's about, almost, 2.5 months away. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll kind of see what happens. And it's hard to send, with Otani, it's difficult because, usually if you haven't pitched in a year and a half or 2 years, you're going to want
Yeah.
to get some rehab starts at,
You would
double A
think.
and
Yeah.
triple A. But then what, the Dodgers are going to be without Otani in the lineup,
They
and
can't send him down to go
right.
get 3 starts, right? And pull
Yeah,
him out of the
right.
line.
Especially at that point in the season, and you're
Yeah.
coming up on the MLB trade deadline. You're trying to see what you got, what you need, that kind of thing. So it will be tricky to get him on the mound, but he's the type of player where he might be able to just do some simulated games
Yeah.
and start ramping him up, and he might be able to come back and show up and show off. So we'll see. But if it does happen, it's definitely after the All-Star break.
I don't know if you've thought this through, but we've kicked it around a little bit, obviously, with Travis Hunter coming to Jacksonville with the blockbuster trade. You got to believe that Shohei Otani, to get on the mound and be a two-way player, his biggest fan is going to be Travis Hunter and Travis Hunter's agent, right? Because if Otani goes and does something that's very rare, playing on both sides, if you're Travis Hunter, that's a little bit of a comp, right? You say, well, wait a minute, this guy in baseball is making $1 gazillion as a two-way player. In a weird way, Travis Hunter wants Otani to be a two-way player, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an interesting, comparison, and I definitely haven't thought of that. But you're right. If Shohei can continue to prove that he's worth the money he is, which is more than anyone else in baseball because he's really two
Two and one.
above average players at both
Yeah.
positions,
Yeah.
right? Absolutely. You're probably Travis Hunter's probably going, well, hey, if I can perform at the superstar level that is being expected of
Yeah.
me. as a number 2 pick, and as a Heisman winner and a two-way guy, then he's
Yeah.
probably going, yeah, well, why shouldn't I be making the most money in football?
Kate, I've already tried to put a marketing campaign together. You get two-way Otani, you get two-way Travis Hunter, and you mix in the old school Bo Jackson, and there's your mega marketing platform right there.
There you go.
Bo Jackson saying, "Hey man, hold on now. I played 2 sports, okay, not just 2 positions. I played multiple sports. Hey, Kate, I know you've kept you a long time. I got a couple more things I'd love to throw your way. I'd love to throw your way. Gosh darn, my man Paul Skeens. He's so much fun to follow. He just stuck it up the Dodgers' butts Friday. Typical Skeens game, but the Pirates are so bad. I just don't want to. There's no way he's going to have a Nolan Ryan career. Nolan had such a great career, but he played on a lot of bad baseball teams year after year. Come on, Pittsburgh, do the right thing, right? I mean, he can't stay there a long time, can he? Skeens?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm him, I'm looking at, hey, okay, I've got to probably finish up my rookie contract here, and which is going to be a long time for him because he was, he was a true rookie. He was promoted in his first year after being drafted, so he's there a while, and he's really loved over there. But he's about all they got. I mean, he had his bobblehead night a couple weeks ago, and they're lined up like 2 miles outside the stadium. So. I mean, the Pirates aren't going to probably trade him. I mean, if they do, they could probably reset their entire franchise. But there's very few teams that have the prospect pool to pull off that trade. So, yeah, unfortunately, I think he's he's going to be kind of like Garrett Cole. I think would be probably his best bet, right? Where maybe he gets traded near the end of his rookie contract. That way, the Pirates can at least get something for him because they're not paying that kid $400-500 million
to go win 69 games or whatever.
Yeah. So I think he's probably on the Garrett Cole trajectory, and I for his sake, I hope he ends up on a really good baseball team here in 3 years.
You probably saw this, but I know we brought it up on the show. This was a week to 10 days ago. His previous start, before he just shoved it up the Dodgers where we were in the other Friday night, his previous start was typical Skeens. Great line, but he lost like 2-1. They couldn't score any runs. And that week, 2 weeks ago, the Pirates were shut out 3 times in the week. I mean, you're like, come on, Pittsburgh, score a little bit.
Skeens can't do all on his own, So,
no, but maybe put a bat in his hand, see what he can do. Hey,
right.
Last topic here, Kade, and I'll let you go, buddy. And this is, it's just the topic is a hot button for a lot of people. You're either on one side or the other, but I'm not so sure I would have died on this hill if I was Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball. So it comes out yesterday or the day before that Manfred is or is about to meet with President Trump, and they're going to discuss Pete Rose in or out of the Hall of Fame. And I'm thinking to myself, the fact that made the news and he's going to, that means Manfred now has to take a stance one way or the other. And I think you're going to die on either side of that stance. I don't know if you followed that much, but I'm like, Manfred, why even publicize that?
Yeah, right. Not a great look. And actually, you and I think, have talked about Pete Rose on your show before,
yes,
right?
We have.
And I'm an ardent supporter in the fact that I think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Same here.
And so, regardless of kind of what you think about, politics, etc., I think that this would probably be, Pete Rose's best shot at, potentially having the opportunity to get in.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's a bad thing, where I stand on it. But you're right. Yeah, that's probably not something that you want to necessarily publicize. Maybe you can go do it, but maybe it's not something that you.
But now when he meets with the president, he's come out and said we're going to talk about Pete Rose and his Hall of Fame worthiness or not. He's got to come out one way or the other with a stance.
Yeah,
and it's just going to shake it up again. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in a corner, and it'll be interesting to see. And hopefully, one way or the other, this is kind of the end of the saga here. So,
and am I safe in saying Manfred's not the most beloved commissioner in the history of?
he is not well liked amongst
No.
he's an owner's commissioner, right? So the owners love him. And the players have their takes. I know the fans absolutely kind of hate him, but I think he did win a little bit of love back with the rule changes and those actually working out. And that's kind of been the lone bright spot in his tenure. But Manfred's a very polarizing character in the game for sure.
College baseball thought, with you being based in Texas, how hot and did you follow much? How hot was the Longhorns? They swept A&M 3 one-run games, but man, what a weird setup with Schlossnagle at Texas, who was at A&M, who swore he wasn't going to Texas. And my God, the Longhorns, they're like 19-2 in the SEC, for God's sakes.
Yeah, they're incredible. Number one in the country. They're playing really good baseball. I've watched a few of their games when they're playing LSU. I tuned in a little bit against A&M. I mean, Texas is looking really great. Clemson's hot right now. They're number 2, I think, in the country. So, Texas is looking kind of unbeatable. But you never know. When it comes time for the tournaments and stuff like that.
Kade, I think you're still with us. Did we lose you? You still there?
Okay, I'm right here. Yep.
I'll leave you with this. SEC baseball. I don't know if you've had a chance to see Arkansas play. Florida in Gainesville somehow took 2 of 3 from Arkansas. If you haven't seen, Arkansas is good, man. I can't believe Dave Van Horn is yet to win the national title. They're really good. They really swing it. Arkansas has 2 Hawaiian brothers, Aloy, A-L-O-Y. They swing the hell out of it, man. I hope Florida doesn't get anywhere near Arkansas the rest of the year. They're good, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've just kind of seen the record and read a little bit. I actually haven't gotten to watch Arkansas play yet this year. I'm sure that'll change, but I have heard that they're swinging the ball pretty well, or swinging the bat pretty well. So I might have to tune into those games.
And don't remember, or I should remind people, your defending national champion, the Tennessee Vols, they got about 3 guys throwing 100 again. Every year they got 3 or 4 guys throwing 101, 102, for God's sakes.
Yeah, and Tennessee was my pick at the beginning of the year to win a back-to-back national championship. I mean, they're still playing really good baseball. They're right up there. They're contending, and this has been an exciting year of college baseball for sure.
It is. It gets better and better, and I know the major leagues love it because those players now. College baseball is getting so much publicity. I mean, the Skeens and the Dylan Cruzes and the Cagliones, they're known going into their little brief period of minor league baseball, and then they come back and people still remember them. You know them. You don't have to learn them.
Yeah, and the other thing too is college baseball has gotten so competitive and it's become such a great option. And I think that NIL. I have my thoughts about it in football and the transfer portal, but baseball is one of those rare sports now where you don't actually have to go to college and play to get drafted. Kids are getting drafted right out of high school, and so now with this NIL money, you're having kids go to college and making some serious cash. But it's also great for MLB teams because it is so competitive now.
Yeah.
It's kind of a developmental league, and these guys don't require as much time to develop. They've had, high-end competition, for a few years. And as, they come in and they can acclimate to the pros and then they can make it to the major leagues here pretty quick now. So I kind of like where it's going too. And like you said, it's exciting to see, Paul Skeens come right on out. So
and TV has really helped it. I mean,
absolutely.
All these programs are on TV. You can see these guys. You don't have to just read about them. You can see them. And gosh, they jump out of the draft and they go to high A ball right out of the gate. And then they'll spend a little bit of time in Double A and get caught up. All right, Kay, we'll let you go. Super stuff. When's your next rodeo? When are you going to the rodeo again?
Oh, man, I'll be traveling for baseball the rest of the summer. So my next rodeo is scheduled for late September. So I got a little while.
Nice. That's a true Texas guy right there. Kade Kistner, our buddy from Sports Illustrated. Thanks, buddy. We'll do it again soon.
Thanks, Terry. See you.
My main man. Boy, he knows the game of baseball. Really covers it. for SI as good as anybody. Let's take a break, come back, and start landing the plane. Busy Tuesday edition, the Young and Norvelle Show, coming back from Hurricane Jointon Creek.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jacks app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device, you're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jacks Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
All right, I want to thank my buddy Kade Kistner again for his time here on the program. Kept him about 25 minutes, but man, he's always got good stuff when it comes to just sports in general, and of course baseball. He's the SI publisher for Major League Baseball. I think he also leans heavy toward writing for the Phillies, but man, does he know the game of baseball. Really appreciate him, and I wanted to get in. Shame on me, I just ran out of time. I didn't want to take all this time, but Kade was telling me off air, and I don't think he minds me mentioning this, that he's pretty connected with a bunch of NFL scouts, and he had some real interesting takes on what the scouts were saying about Shedeur Sanders, and it sounded more like what we talked about the last couple of days, that this fall in the draft for Shedeur Sanders was many parts the NFL just did not love Sanders' game way more than any off-field politics, daddy issues, things like that. And, Kate's a pretty straight shooter, and he kind of mentioned that to me. And that's kind of where I fall on this whole thing. I think, not that we need to rehash Shedeur Sanders again, but we will, in case you haven't heard my stance. I think it was more parts the media thought Deion's son being a high draft pick would be a cool story. I think it was Shedeur Sanders first round pick, Shedeur Sanders top 5 pick, Shedeur Sanders second quarterback pick in the NFL draft. I think that was perpetrated by the media more than it was factual. I think a lot of the NFL scouting people were not enamored with Shedeur. I've heard enough scout people that I think said, okay, it means good quarterback, good college quarterback. You can do a lot worse, but not a world beater, not a wow guy. Decent arm. Takes too many chances, not the most athletic. And then you look at guys, Quinn Ewers, Will Howard, national championship Ohio State Buckeye. These guys, went in the 6th and 7th round. I think it was much more media-induced than NFL player personnel induced. I'm not so sure. I guess if you backed me up and said, Terry, give your elevator, the old saying, elevator pitch, where you get to talk to somebody real quick about what you're selling. You better be concise. What's your elevator pitch on Shedeur Sanders dropping to the 5th round, Terry Norvelle? I think my elevator pitch would be, I don't think he dropped that far. I think the NFL people that the media didn't really want to report on, I think they had him 3 to 5, probably round 3 to 5. But I think the media people almost heard Charlie Brown's teacher. I don't want to hear that. That doesn't go with the story I just wrote, that Deion Sanders' son is going to be in the top 5, the second quarterback, maybe the first. I think the media caused this a lot. And I'm kind of the media, so I'm just calling myself out. Anyway, my thoughts on that. A topic that's not a big deal, but I don't totally understand it, and maybe it's going to define itself and be called something different. I love me some Shaquille O'Neal. I've always liked Shaq, and I don't think he's done anything wrong. I'm just going to bring his name up because he's the latest to be named this position. What's the deal with these colleges? Sacramento State just named Shaquille O'Neal their basketball general manager. Non-paid position. Shaq's son is going to play college basketball at Sacramento State, so I get the tie, but is this just a fundraiser? You saw Steph Curry has been named the GM for basketball at Davidson, his school. And a lot of these guys, Shaq is at least retired. A lot of these guys are taking these positions, and they're still active players in their sport. What is this? What are they supposed to be? I don't get it. They're calling him the general manager. Andrew Luck is doing it at Stanford, and I get it. He's retired. And Stanford's in a bad way right now, and they need a guy. And Andrew Luck's feeling what is Shaq supposed to be doing? And how many hours is he supposed to be giving as the general manager of Sacramento State basketball. And when his son is done playing at Sacramento State, I'm assuming, much like the Little League parent or the high school sports parent, you're all in when your kid's in that level, but when your kid's gone, I don't know. Maybe I'm the guy that just doesn't get what's their job duty? What's Shaq supposed to do? I would guess he's just supposed to go to some dinners with some potential money people. I guess. I guess that is it. If we have time, I want to get to the Major League Baseball standings and talk a lot of baseball with Kade Kistner and give you an idea of who's standing where. As we're coming up on the, I guess we're about 10 games away from the quarter pole. 40 games in is the 25% period of Major League Baseball. Before we do that, though, real interesting, Florida Gator basketball. They are also in the running for another really supposedly big time point guard, 2-guard, 6'6" USC guard Desmond Claude, supposedly a really sought after big guard, 2-guard that can play the point. That, I mean, his schools, he's down to North Carolina, Kansas, Virginia, and Florida. And some of the stuff I'm reading says Florida thinks they're in a good spot. Man, and I know we still have to see these guys, new players you don't know, you hear about, you watch some tape on. If Florida was to land this guy, Desmond Claude, and his numbers at USC are big, he's a scorer, rebounder, multiple threat, 6'6", 200-pound, kind of, gosh, that just screams Elijah Martin. Xavier Lee, on a lot of lists, was the number one portal point guard, playmaking point guard. He's already signed with Florida. I think Condon's coming back. I have nothing to base that on. I think he's going to get a report from the NBA to say he could probably use a year of college basketball, one more to work on this, and this. Houck said he's coming back. Ruben Chinyelu, I think he's definitely going to get a report from the NBA that says, hey, man, you need to work on some stuff. Micah Hanlogden only played half the season last year. He's coming back. I'll tell you one thing, man. I know Florida's the defending national champions in basketball, but they're not a blue blood program. I've seen them projected in these way too early preseason, and basketball doesn't tip off for another 6 months. I think Florida's going to have a hell of a team next year. I think the 4 big guys are coming back. And the Gators will have a lot of options to run out teams to match the opponent. Man, Hanlogden, Chinyelu, a couple of 7-footers. Condon 6'11", and I think he is only scratching the surface of his total game that he'll be 3 years from now. I think Thomas Houck, he's going to get some time, as Todd Golden said, at the 3. When Florida goes big, they'll have Houck, Condon, and one of the big 7-footers on the floor at the same time. They may chase that with a 6'6" 2-guard and a 6'4" point guard. Xavier Lee's about 6'4". The big kid. That is a pretty imposing lineup. That lineup, from a height standpoint, is what scared people that had to play Duke. Duke this past year, really talented. Obviously, Cooper Fleck. Really talented. Kneppel. The other guy that's going to probably go in the first round. Duke also was the tallest, longest team in America. They had the 7'2" kid at center, protecting the basket. They could beat you over the top or with skill. Man, I'm all in with Florida. Now, the intangible. Don't forget that we know the talent, Walter Clayton. We know the talent, Elijah Martin. We know the talent, Will Richard. They also had intangibles. Those guys were big in big moments. You don't know how that translates to new guys. They played, those three guys for Florida were their best. They didn't shy away from the big moment. They didn't not want the ball. Wait a minute. If I've got the ball with 30 seconds, I may get fouled. I may have to go to the free throw. They didn't care. They didn't care. They were all cold-blooded assassins. Will this new group, particularly in the backcourt, I think we know what we're going to get from Florida in the front court. They're going to be better. I think they're all coming back in the front court, and they're going to be the best front court in America if Condon comes back, and I think he will. Just a guess, but I think he will. The backcourt. Do you have game on the line? I mean, Walter Clayton wanted the ball in clutch time. The other two guards wanted the ball, Richard and Martin. Everybody doesn't always want the ball, as crazy as that sounds. Some guys are thinking, oh, my God, I don't mind the 24-footer with 8 minutes remaining in the game, but is that ball going to swing around and hit me in the hands with 4 seconds and I've got to jack it up? Or what if I get fouled? Oh, my goodness, do I step to the line with 22,000 in Rupp Arena cheering against me? Anyway, we'll see. A long time to basketball season. All right, that'll wrap it up. Great show. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed bringing it to you. We'll get back together tomorrow, 4 o'clock, for the next edition of the Young and Norvelle Show right here on Action Sports Jacks.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry. We still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay cool.